Pathophysiology of androgens in detail. Very long answer. ChatGPT. Pathophysiology of androgens. Androgens are a group of steroid hormones primarily associated with male reproductive functions. The most well-known androgen is testosterone. While androgens are crucial for the development and maintenance of male sexual characteristics and reproductive function, their dysregulation can lead to various pathophysiological conditions. Here, we delve into the pathophysiology of androgens, highlighting their role in health and disease. 1. Hypogonadism. Hypogonadism refers to a condition where the testes produce insufficient levels of testosterone. It can result from primary testicular disorders or dysfunction of the hypothalamic pituitary gonadal axis. Hypogonadism can lead to infertility, reduced libido, decreased muscle mass, osteoporosis, and fatigue. 2. Androgen excess. Conditions like polycystic ovary syndrome (PCOS) and congenital adrenal hyperplasia (CAH) can lead to excessive androgen production in females. This disrupts the hormonal balance, leading to irregular menstrual cycles, hirsutism, excessive hair growth, and acne. 3. Androgen receptor mutations. Conditions like polycystic ovary syndrome (PCOS) and congenital adrenal hyperplasia (CAH) can lead to excessive androgen production in females. This disrupts the hormonal balance, leading to irregular menstrual cycles, hirsutism, excessive hair growth, and acne. 3. Androgen receptor mutations. Mutations in the androgen receptor gene can result in androgen insensitivity syndrome (ICE). Individuals with ICE have dysfunctional androgen receptors, leading to impaired development of male sexual characteristics despite normal androgen levels. 4. Benign prostatic hyperplasia (BPH). BPH is a non-cancerous enlargement of the prostate gland in aging males. Androgens, particularly dihydrotestosterone (DHT), contribute to the growth of the prostate gland. BPH can lead to urinary symptoms and complications. 5. Prostate cancer. Prostate cancer is a malignancy that can be influenced by androgens. Androgen deprivation therapy (ADT) is a common treatment approach, aiming to reduce androgen levels to inhibit cancer growth. However, resistance to ADT can develop, leading to more aggressive forms of prostate cancer. 6. Virilization in females. In certain disorders, females can experience virilization due to excessive androgen levels. This can lead to the development of male-like secondary sexual characteristics, such as deepening voice and increased muscle mass. 7. Androgen-related hair loss. Androgenetic alopecia, commonly known as male pattern baldness, is influenced by the sensitivity of hair follicles to DHT. DHT interacts with androgen receptors in the hair follicles, leading to miniaturization and eventual hair loss. 8. Insulin resistance and metabolic syndrome. Elevated androgen levels, particularly in conditions like PCOS, can contribute to insulin resistance and metabolic syndrome. This increases the risk of type 2 diabetes and cardiovascular diseases. 9. Acne and sebum production. Androgens stimulate sebaceous gland activity and sebum production. In conditions like acne vulgaris, excess androgens can contribute to increased sebum production and acne development. 10. Cardiovascular effects. High levels of androgens have been associated with an increased risk of cardiovascular diseases, including hypertension and atherosclerosis. The mechanisms underlying these associations are complex and involve effects on lipid metabolism and vascular function. 11. Mood and behavior. Androgens can influence mood and behavior. For instance, low levels of testosterone have been linked to mood disturbances and depression in males. Conclusion. Androgens play a pivotal role in male development, reproduction, and various physiological functions. Dysregulation of androgens can lead to a range of pathophysiological conditions, affecting not only reproductive health but also metabolic, cardiovascular, and psychological well-being. Understanding the intricate interplay of androgens in health and disease is essential for providing effective medical interventions and treatments. Pathophysiology of estrogens in detail. Very long answer. ChatGPT. Pathophysiology of estrogens. Estrogens are a group of steroid hormones primarily associated with female reproductive functions. The most well-known estrogen is estradiol. While estrogens are crucial for the development and maintenance of female sexual characteristics and reproductive function, their dysregulation can lead to various pathophysiological conditions. Here, we delve into the pathophysiology of estrogens, highlighting their role in health and disease. 1. Hormonal imbalances. Estrogen imbalances can result in disorders like polycystic ovary syndrome (PCOS) and endometriosis. PCOS involves elevated levels of estrogen due to anovulation, leading to irregular menstrual cycles, hirsutism, and infertility. Endometriosis is characterized by the presence of endometrial tissue outside the uterus, which responds to estrogen and leads to pain and fertility issues. 2. Estrogen deficiency. Estrogen deficiency can occur due to conditions like premature ovarian insufficiency, POI, or menopause. This leads to various symptoms such as hot flashes, night sweats, vaginal dryness, and increased risk of osteoporosis. 3. Estrogen excess. Conditions like estrogen-producing tumors, hormone replacement therapy (HRT), or excessive use of estrogen-containing contraceptives can result in estrogen excess. This can lead to increased risk of thromboembolic events, gallstones, and estrogen-dependent cancers. 4. Estrogen receptor mutations. Mutations in the estrogen receptor gene can lead to estrogen insensitivity syndrome (ICE). This condition affects the body's response to estrogen and can result in abnormal sexual development and reproductive dysfunction. 5. Reproductive cancers. Excessive estrogen exposure can increase the risk of estrogen-dependent cancers, such as breast and endometrial cancers. Hormone replacement therapy and obesity, which can lead to higher estrogen levels, are known risk factors for these cancers. 6. Cardiovascular effects. Estrogen has a complex relationship with cardiovascular health. While it is believed to have protective effects on the cardiovascular system, hormonal imbalances, especially during menopause, can increase the risk of cardiovascular diseases. 7. Bone health. Estrogen plays a critical role in maintaining bone health. Estrogen deficiency, particularly after menopause, contributes to the development of osteoporosis, a condition characterized by decreased bone density and increased fracture risk. 8. Estrogen and autoimmune disorders. Estrogens may influence the development and progression of autoimmune disorders as they impact immune cell function and cytokine production. Some autoimmune diseases, such as systemic lupus erythematosus (SLE), predominantly affect females. 9. Estrogen and mood disorders. Estrogen fluctuations, particularly during the menstrual cycle or menopause, are associated with mood disturbances, including premenstrual syndrome (PMS) and mood swings. 10. Estrogen and brain health. Estrogens are thought to have neuroprotective effects on the brain. Estrogen deficiency has been linked to cognitive decline and an increased risk of neurodegenerative disorders like Alzheimer's disease. 11. Estrogen and obesity. Estrogens play a role in regulating adipose tissue distribution and metabolism. Estrogen deficiency can contribute to weight gain and altered fat distribution, which are commonly observed after menopause. Conclusion. Estrogens are critical for female development, reproduction, and various physiological functions. Imbalances or dysregulation of estrogens can lead to a range of pathophysiological conditions affecting reproductive health, bone health, cardiovascular health, and more. Understanding the role of estrogens in health and disease is essential for effective medical interventions and treatments, particularly in women's healthcare. Hormones and female reproductive physiology in detail. Very long answer. ChatGPT. Hormones and female reproductive physiology. Female reproductive physiology is regulated by a complex interplay of hormones that orchestrate the menstrual cycle, pregnancy, and various reproductive processes. These hormones ensure the development of female reproductive structures, ovulation, fertilization, and pregnancy maintenance. Let's delve into the detailed role of hormones in female reproductive physiology. 1. Hypothalamus pituitary gonadal axis. The hypothalamus releases gonadotropin-releasing hormone (GnRH), which stimulates the anterior pituitary gland to secrete follicle-stimulating hormone (FSH) and luteinizing hormone (LH). 2. Follicular phase. During the menstrual cycle's follicular phase, FSH stimulates the growth and development of ovarian follicles, each containing an oocyte. As the follicles grow, they produce estrogen, primarily estradiol. 3. Estrogen's role. Estradiol promotes endometrial growth and vascularization, preparing the uterus for potential implantation. It also triggers positive feedback on the hypothalamus and pituitary, culminating in a surge of. During the menstrual cycle's follicular phase, FSH stimulates the growth and development of ovarian follicles, each containing an oocyte. As the follicles grow, they produce estrogen, primarily estradiol. 3. Estrogen's role. Estradiol promotes endometrial growth and vascularization, preparing the uterus for potential implantation. It also triggers positive feedback on the hypothalamus and pituitary, culminating in a surge of LH. 4. Ovulation. The LH surge triggers ovulation, the release of a mature oocyte from the dominant follicle. LH also stimulates the follicular cells to transform into the corpus luteum, a temporary endocrine structure. 5. Luteal phase. The corpus luteum secretes progesterone, which prepares the endometrium for possible embryo implantation by inducing glandular and vascular changes. If fertilization doesn't occur, the corpus luteum regresses. 6. Corpus luteum function. The corpus luteum produces both progesterone and estrogen, maintaining the endometrium and preventing its shedding until pregnancy is established where the corpus luteum regresses. 7. Pregnancy and HCG. If fertilization occurs, the developing embryo releases human chorionic gonadotropin (HCG), which maintains the corpus luteum's function, ensuring progesterone secretion to support the early pregnancy. 8. Placenta's role. The placenta takes over hormone production during pregnancy, secreting large amounts of progesterone and estrogen to maintain the uterine environment and fetal development. 9. Relaxin and progesterone. Progesterone and the hormone relaxin prepare the cervix and pelvic muscles for childbirth by relaxing smooth muscle tissue. 10. Hormonal changes at labor. The decrease in progesterone levels triggers labor, and the rise in oxytocin levels stimulates uterine contractions. 11. Breast development. Hormones like estrogen, progesterone, and prolactin drive breast development during puberty and pregnancy, preparing the breasts for lactation. 12. Menopause. As women age, ovarian function declines, leading to menopause. The drop in estrogen and progesterone levels contributes to various physiological changes and symptoms. 13. Contraception. Hormonal contraceptives, like birth control pills, patches, and injections, manipulate estrogen and progesterone levels to prevent ovulation and pregnancy. 14. Hormones and reproductive disorders. Hormonal imbalances can lead to disorders like polycystic ovary syndrome, PCOS, endometriosis, and irregular menstrual cycles. Conclusion. The intricate dance of hormones within the female reproductive system ensures the proper functioning of menstrual cycles, ovulation, pregnancy, childbirth, and breastfeeding. The hypothalamus-pituitary-gonadal axis, along with the roles of estrogen, progesterone, and other hormones, orchestrates these processes. Understanding the detailed interactions of these hormones is crucial for reproductive health, fertility management, and the overall well-being of women throughout their lives. Synthesis of ovarian steroid hormones in detail. Very long answer. ChatGPT. Synthesis of ovarian steroid hormones. Ovarian steroid hormones, including estrogen and progesterone, play crucial roles in regulating the menstrual cycle, supporting pregnancy, and maintaining reproductive health. The synthesis of these hormones occurs in specialized cells within the ovaries. Let's explore the detailed process of ovarian steroid hormone synthesis. 1. Progesterone synthesis. Progesterone is primarily synthesized by the corpus luteum, a temporary endocrine structure formed after ovulation. 2. Theca cells. Theca cells, present in the ovarian follicles, are stimulated by luteinizing hormone LH to produce androgens, such as androstenedione. 3. Androgen production. Androstenedione is converted from cholesterol through enzymatic reactions involving desmolase and other enzymes. 4. Granulosa cells. Granulosa cells, also found in the ovarian follicles, possess aromatase, an enzyme that converts androstenedione into estrone, a weak form of estrogen. 5. The role of LH. LH stimulates theca cells to produce androgens, and these androgens are transported to granulosa cells, where they are aromatized into estrogens. 6. Estradiol synthesis. Estradiol, the most potent form of estrogen, is synthesized by the ovaries and plays a vital role in regulating the menstrual cycle and maintaining reproductive health. 7. Theca and granulosa cells. Theca cells produce androgens, while granulosa cells convert these androgens into estrogens. 8. Aromatization process. Aromatase, an enzyme in granulosa cells, converts androgens like testosterone into estradiol. 9. Theca and granulosa interaction. Theca and granulosa cells collaborate to produce estrogens. Theca cells provide androgens, which are then used by granulosa cells for aromatization. 10. Hormonal regulation. Follicle-stimulating hormone (FSH) and LH from the anterior pituitary gland regulate the development of ovarian follicles and the production of steroid hormones. 11. Menstrual cycle. During the menstrual cycle, the levels of FSH and LH fluctuate, promoting the growth of ovarian follicles and the synthesis of estrogen and progesterone. 12. Ovulation and luteal phase. After ovulation, the corpus luteum forms from the remains of the mature follicle. It produces both progesterone and estrogen. 13. Hormonal interactions. Estrogen and progesterone have a dynamic interplay, regulating endometrial changes during the menstrual cycle and supporting early pregnancy. 14. Pregnancy. During pregnancy, the placenta takes over the production of steroid hormones, producing high levels of estrogen and progesterone to maintain pregnancy. 15. Steroidogenic pathways. The synthesis of ovarian steroid hormones involves multiple enzymatic reactions, such as desmolase, aromatase, and others. 16. Feedback mechanisms. Estrogen and progesterone levels exert feedback on the hypothalamus and pituitary to regulate the secretion of FSH and LH. Conclusion. The ovaries play a pivotal role in the synthesis of steroid hormones, including estrogen and progesterone. This intricate process involves collaboration between theca and granulosa cells within the ovarian follicles, regulated by hormones like FSH and LH. The resulting steroid hormones are essential for maintaining the menstrual cycle, promoting ovulation, supporting pregnancy, and regulating various aspects of reproductive health. Understanding the detailed synthesis of ovarian steroid hormones is fundamental to comprehending female reproductive physiology and its impacts on overall well-being. Chemistry of ovarian steroid hormones in detail. Very long answer. ChatGPT. Chemistry of ovarian steroid hormones. Ovarian steroid hormones, such as estrogen and progesterone, are essential for the regulation of various physiological processes in the female reproductive system. These hormones are derived from cholesterol and have distinct chemical structures that contribute to their biological functions. Let's delve into the chemistry of ovarian steroid hormones in detail. 1. Estrogens. Estrogens are a group of hormones, including estradiol, estrone, and estriol. Estradiol is the most potent and biologically active form. 2. Structure of estrogens. Estrogens are characterized by a steroidal nucleus with 3 rings A, B, and C, and a phenolic ring D ring. Estradiol contains hydroxyl groups at positions 3 and 17. 3. Estrogens are a group of hormones. Estrogens are a group of hormones, including estradiol, estrone, and estriol. Estradiol is the most potent and biologically active form. 2. Structure of estrogens. Estrogens are characterized by a steroidal nucleus with 3 rings A, B, and C, and a phenolic ring D ring. Estradiol contains hydroxyl groups at positions 3 and 17. 3. Synthesis of estrogens. Estrogens are synthesized primarily in the ovaries. Enzymatic reactions, such as aromatization, convert androgens like testosterone into estrogens, with the help of the enzyme aromatase. 4. Progesterone. Progesterone is another important ovarian steroid hormone that plays a key role in pregnancy maintenance and regulation of the menstrual cycle. 5. Structure of progesterone. Progesterone has a steroidal structure with a 4-ring system. It lacks the phenolic ring seen in estrogens. 6. Synthesis of progesterone. Progesterone is mainly synthesized in the corpus luteum during the luteal phase of the menstrual cycle. The conversion of cholesterol to progesterone involves several enzymatic steps. 7. Cholesterol is the precursor. Both estrogen and progesterone are derived from cholesterol, a lipid molecule present in cell membranes. 8. Enzymatic reactions. The synthesis of estrogen and progesterone involves enzymes like desmolase, aromatase. The synthesis of estrogen and progesterone involves enzymes like desmolase, aromatase, and 3-beta-hydroxysteroid dehydrogenase, among others. 9. Regulation of synthesis. The synthesis of ovarian steroid hormone. The synthesis of estrogen and progesterone involves enzymes like desmolase, aromatase, and 3-beta-hydroxysteroid dehydrogenase, among others. 9. Regulation of synthesis. The synthesis of ovarian steroid hormones is regulated by the hypothalamus-pituitary-gonadal axis. Follicle-stimulating hormone (FSH) and luteinizing hormone (LH) play pivotal roles. 10. Receptor binding. Once synthesized, ovarian steroid hormones bind to specific receptors in target tissues, initiating intracellular signaling cascades. 11. Biological functions. Estrogens regulate the menstrual cycle, secondary sexual characteristics, and bone health. Progesterone prepares the uterus for pregnancy and maintains the endometrial lining. 12. Menstrual cycle. Estrogen levels rise during the follicular phase, promoting follicular development. Progesterone levels increase during the luteal phase to prepare the uterus for possible pregnancy. 13. Pregnancy. During pregnancy, the placenta takes over the production of ovarian steroid hormones, ensuring an appropriate hormonal environment for fetal development. 14. Feedback mechanisms. Ovarian steroid hormones exert negative feedback on the hypothalamus and pituitary, regulating the secretion of FSH and LH. 15. Role in reproductive health. Ovarian steroid hormones are essential for fertility, pregnancy maintenance, and overall reproductive health in women. Conclusion. Ovarian steroid hormones, including estrogens and progesterone, are intricately involved in regulating various aspects of female reproductive physiology. Their distinct chemical structures, derived from cholesterol, enable them to bind to specific receptors and exert diverse physiological effects. The synthesis, regulation, and functions of these hormones contribute significantly to menstrual cycles, ovulation, pregnancy, and overall reproductive well-being. Understanding the chemistry of ovarian steroid hormones is crucial for comprehending their roles in female reproductive physiology and health. Metabolism of ovarian steroid hormones in detail. Very long answer. ChatGPT. Metabolism of ovarian steroid hormones. Ovarian steroid hormones, such as estrogen and progesterone, undergo intricate metabolic processes within the female body. These metabolic pathways play a crucial role in regulating the levels of these hormones, maintaining hormonal balance, and ensuring proper physiological functions. Let's delve into the metabolism of ovarian steroid hormones in detail. 1. Metabolism of estrogens. Estrogens, such as estradiol and estrone, undergo extensive metabolism in the liver and other tissues. 2. Hydroxylation. Estrogens are metabolized through hydroxylation reactions, which occur primarily in the liver. This process involves the addition of hydroxyl groups to specific positions on the estrogen molecule. 3. Phase 1 metabolism. Phase 1 metabolism involves the action of enzymes like cytochrome P450, CYP450 enzymes, which catalyze hydroxylation reactions. These enzymes convert estradiol into hydroxylated metabolites. 4. Formation of metabolites. The hydroxylated metabolites of estrogens can be further converted into other metabolites or conjugated with glucuronic acid or sulfate in the liver. 5. Conjugation. Conjugation of estrogen metabolites increases their water solubility and facilitates their excretion. This process is essential for eliminating excess estrogen from the body. 6. Enterohepatic circulation. Conjugated estrogen metabolites are excreted into the bile and then into the intestine. Some metabolites can be deconjugated by gut bacteria, and free estrogen can be reabsorbed into circulation, leading to the enterohepatic circulation. 7. Phase 2 metabolism. 1. Metabolism of estrogens. Estrogens, such as estradiol and estrone, undergo extensive metabolism in the liver and other tissues. 2. Hydroxylation. Estrogens are metabolized through hydroxylation reactions, which occur primarily in the liver. This process involves the addition of hydroxyl groups to specific positions on the estrogen molecule. 3. Phase 1 metabolism. Phase 1 metabolism involves the action of enzymes like cytochrome P450, CYP450 enzymes, which catalyze hydroxylation reactions. These enzymes convert estradiol into hydroxylated metabolites. 4. Formation of metabolites. The hydroxylated metabolites of estrogens can be further converted into other metabolites or conjugated with glucuronic acid or sulfate in the liver. 5. Conjugation. Conjugation of estrogen metabolites increases their water solubility and facilitates their excretion. This process is essential for eliminating excess estrogen from the body. 6. Enterohepatic circulation. Conjugated estrogen metabolites are excreted into the bile and then into the intestine. Some metabolites can be deconjugated by gut bacteria, and free estrogen can be reabsorbed into circulation, leading to the enterohepatic circulation. 7. Phase 2 metabolism. Phase 2 metabolism involves conjugation reactions, where glucuronic acid or sulfate groups are attached to estrogen metabolites. This process enhances their excretion. Phase 1 metabolism involves the action of enzymes like cytochrome P450, CYP450 enzymes, which catalyze hydroxylation reactions. These enzymes convert estradiol into hydroxylated metabolites. 4. Formation of metabolites. The hydroxylated metabolites of estrogens can be further converted into other metabolites or conjugated with glucuronic acid or sulfate in the liver. 5. Conjugation. Conjugation of estrogen metabolites increases their water solubility and facilitates their excretion. This process is essential for eliminating excess estrogen from the body. 6. Enterohepatic circulation. Conjugated estrogen metabolites are excreted into the bile and then into the intestine. Some metabolites can be deconjugated by gut bacteria, and free estrogen can be reabsorbed into circulation, leading to the enterohepatic circulation. 7. Phase 2 metabolism. Phase 2 metabolism involves conjugation reactions, where glucuronic acid or sulfate groups are attached to estrogen metabolites. This process enhances their excretion via urine or bile. 8. Role of liver. The liver plays a significant role in metabolizing and eliminating estrogen metabolites from the body, ensuring hormonal balance. 9. Metabolism of progesterone. Progesterone is primarily metabolized in the liver. 10. Hydroxylation and reduction. Progesterone undergoes hydroxylation and reduction reactions, leading to the formation of various metabolites. 11. Bile excretion. Progesterone metabolites are excreted into the bile and subsequently eliminated from the body. 12. Interaction with other metabolic pathways. The metabolism of ovarian steroid hormones can be influenced by various factors, including diet, medications, and genetic variations. 13. Pathophysiological implications. Disturbances in the metabolism of ovarian steroid hormones can lead to hormonal imbalances, contributing to conditions such as polycystic ovary syndrome, PCOS, endometriosis, and hormone-sensitive cancers. 14. Hormonal imbalance. Altered metabolism of estrogen can result in an imbalance between estrogen and progesterone levels, affecting menstrual cycles, fertility, and overall health. 15. Role of enzymes. Enzymes involved in steroid metabolism, such as 450 cypriot counts enzymes, can be influenced by genetic polymorphisms and environmental factors, impacting individual variations in hormone metabolism. 16. Pharmacological implications. Understanding the metabolism of ovarian steroid hormones is essential for the development of hormone-based therapies, such as hormonal contraceptives and hormone replacement therapy. Conclusion. Metabolism plays a critical role in maintaining the balance and proper functioning of ovarian steroid hormones. The liver and other tissues are actively involved in metabolizing estrogens and progesterone through hydroxylation, conjugation, and other reactions. The intricate metabolic pathways ensure the elimination of excess hormones, preventing hormonal imbalances and associated health issues. Knowledge of ovarian steroid hormone metabolism is crucial for understanding reproductive health, developing hormone-related treatments, and addressing pathophysiological conditions related to hormonal imbalances. Physiological roles of ovarian steroid hormones in detail. Very long answer. ChatGPT. Physiological roles of ovarian steroid hormones. Ovarian steroid hormones, including estrogen and progesterone, play diverse and crucial roles in the female body. These hormones regulate various physiological processes that are essential for reproductive health, overall well-being, and the maintenance of secondary sexual characteristics. Let's explore the detailed physiological roles of ovarian steroid hormones. 1. Estrogen. Development of secondary sexual characteristics. Estrogen contributes to the development of secondary sexual characteristics, such as breast growth, widening of hips, and distribution of body fat. Menstrual cycle regulation. Estrogen regulates the menstrual cycle by stimulating the growth of the endometrium, inner lining of the uterus during the follicular phase. Bone health. Estrogen plays a crucial role in maintaining bone density by promoting calcium absorption and inhibiting bone resorption. Physiological roles of ovarian steroid hormones in detail. Very long answer. ChatGPT. Physiological roles of ovarian steroid hormones. Ovarian steroid hormones, including estrogen and progesterone, play diverse and crucial roles in the female body. These hormones regulate various physiological processes that are essential for reproductive health, overall well-being, and the maintenance of secondary sexual characteristics. Let's explore the detailed physiological roles of ovarian steroid hormones. 1. Estrogen. Development of secondary sexual characteristics. Estrogen contributes to the development of secondary sexual characteristics, such as breast growth, widening of hips, and distribution of body fat. Menstrual cycle regulation. Estrogen regulates the menstrual cycle by stimulating the growth of the endometrium, inner lining of the uterus during the follicular phase. Bone health. Estrogen plays a crucial role in maintaining bone density by promoting calcium absorption and inhibiting bone resorption. Cardiovascular health. Estrogen has a protective effect on cardiovascular health by improving lipid profile, promoting vasodilation, and reducing the risk of heart disease. Brain function. Estrogen influences cognitive functions, mood regulation, and memory. It has been linked to the prevention of neurodegenerative diseases. Reproductive organs. Estrogen is responsible for the development and maintenance of the female reproductive organs, including the uterus and vagina. Breast health. Estrogen contributes to the growth and development of mammary glands and breast tissue. Ovulation. Estrogen levels rise during the follicular phase of the menstrual cycle and stimulate the release of luteinizing hormone LH, triggering ovulation. 2. Progesterone. Uterine changes. Progesterone prepares the uterine lining for implantation by promoting its growth and maintaining its thickness during the luteal phase. Pregnancy support. Progesterone is essential for maintaining pregnancy. It helps prevent uterine contractions that could lead to premature labor and supports the development of the placenta. Cervical mucus. Progesterone changes the cervical mucus consistency, making it thicker and less permeable to sperm, thereby reducing the likelihood of fertilization. Breast health. Progesterone contributes to the development of mammary gland lob. Uterine changes. Progesterone prepares the uterine lining for implantation by promoting its growth and maintaining its thickness during the luteal phase. Pregnancy support. Progesterone is essential for maintaining pregnancy. It helps prevent uterine contractions that could lead to premature labor and supports the development of the placenta. Cervical mucus. Progesterone changes the cervical mucus consistency, making it thicker and less permeable to sperm, thereby reducing the likelihood of fertilization. Breast health. Progesterone. Cervical mucus. Progesterone changes the cervical mucus consistency, it helps prevent uterine contractions that could lead to premature labor and supports the development of the placenta. Cervical mucus. Progesterone changes the cervical mucus consistency, making it thicker and less permeable to sperm, thereby reducing the likelihood of fertilization. Breast health. Progesterone contributes to the development of mammary gland lobules and alveoli in preparation for lactation. Temperature regulation. Progesterone can slightly elevate body temperature after ovulation, indicating the occurrence of ovulation and preparing the body for potential pregnancy. Mood regulation. Progesterone has a calming effect on the central nervous system, affecting mood and reducing anxiety. Implantation support. Progesterone promotes the development of a receptive uterine environment for the implantation of a fertilized egg. Menstrual cycle phases. Progesterone dominates the luteal phase of the menstrual cycle, maintaining the uterine lining until it is shed during menstruation if pregnancy does not occur. 3. Hormonal interplay. Estrogen and progesterone have a dynamic interplay during the menstrual cycle. Estrogen promotes the growth of the uterine lining, while progesterone stabilizes and prepares it for potential pregnancy. Conclusion. Ovarian steroid hormone. Estrogen and progesterone have a dynamic interplay during the menstrual cycle. Estrogen promotes the growth of the uterine lining, while progesterone stabilizes and prepares it for potential pregnancy. Conclusion. Ovarian steroid hormones, estrogen, and progesterone exert a wide range of physiological effects throughout a woman's life. These hormones influence secondary sexual characteristics, regulate the menstrual cycle, support reproduction, affect bone health, cardiovascular function, brain health, and contribute to overall well-being. Their intricate interplay ensures the proper functioning of the female reproductive system and impacts various other body systems. Understanding the physiological roles of ovarian steroid hormones is essential for comprehending women's health, fertility, and the broader aspects of hormonal regulation in the female body. Hormonal regulation of female monthly rhythm. Detail. Very long answer. ChatGPT. Hormonal regulation of the female monthly rhythm. The female monthly rhythm, also known as the menstrual cycle, is a complex physiological process that involves the interplay of various hormones. These hormones work in a coordinated manner to regulate the development and release of an egg, ovulation, the preparation of the uterine lining for potential pregnancy, and the shedding of the lining if pregnancy does not occur. Let's delve into the detailed hormonal regulation of the female monthly rhythm. 1. Follicular phase. Gonadotropin-releasing hormone (GnRH) released by the hypothalamus. GnRH stimulates the anterior pituitary gland to produce two key hormones: follicle-stimulating hormone (FSH) and luteinizing hormone (LH). Follicle-stimulating hormone (FSH). FSH stimulates the growth and maturation of ovarian follicles, each containing an egg. Estrogen. As the ovarian follicles develop, they secrete increasing amounts of estrogen. Estrogen stimulates the growth of the uterine lining. Estrogen stimulates the growth of the uterine lining endometrium and inhibits the further release of FSH. Luteinizing hormone (LH). A surge in LH triggers ovulation, the release of a mature egg from the ovary. This surge is driven by high estrogen levels. 2. Ovulation. Luteinizing hormone (LH) surge. The surge in LH triggers the release of a mature egg from the ovary. This typically occurs around the middle of the menstrual cycle. 3. Luteal phase. Corpus luteum formation. After ovulation, the empty follicle transforms into the corpus luteum, a temporary endocrine structure that secretes progesterone. Progesterone. The corpus luteum secretes progesterone, which prepares the uterine lining for potential pregnancy by thickening it and making it more receptive to implantation. Estrogen. Estrogen levels also remain elevated during the luteal phase, contributing to the maintenance of the uterine lining and supporting the development of the embryo if fertilization occurs. 4. Menstruation. Decline in hormones. If fertilization does not occur, the corpus luteum regresses, leading to a decrease in both estrogen and progesterone levels. Uterine shedding. The declining hormone levels cause the uterine lining to shed, resulting in menstruation. 5. Hormonal feedback mechanisms. Negative feedback. Rising estrogen levels exert negative feedback on the hypothalamus and pituitary, inhibiting the release of GnRH, FSH, and LH. This helps prevent the simultaneous maturation of multiple follicles. Positive feedback. High estrogen levels trigger positive feedback on the hypothalamus, leading to a surge in LH that triggers ovulation. 6. Role of hormones in pregnancy. Human chorionic gonadotropin (HCG). After fertilization, the developing embryo secretes HCG, which acts similarly to LH and helps maintain the corpus luteum, ensuring continued progesterone secretion to support the early pregnancy. Conclusion. The female monthly rhythm is a complex interplay of hormones orchestrated by the hypothalamus, pituitary. Certainly, let's delve deeper into the hormonal regulation of the female monthly rhythm. 1. Follicular phase. Gonadotropin-releasing hormone (GnRH) released by the hypothalamus in a pulsatile manner. GnRH stimulates the anterior pituitary gland. The frequency and amplitude of GnRH pulses influence the release of FSH and LH. Follicle-stimulating hormone (FSH). FSH acts on the ovarian follicles, stimulating their growth and development. As the follicles grow, they produce increasing amounts of estrogen. Estrogen, produced primarily by the growing ovarian follicles. Estrogen has multiple effects. It promotes the deeper into the hormonal regulation of the female monthly rhythm. 1. Follicular phase. Gonadotropin-releasing hormone (GnRH) released by the hypothalamus in a pulsatile manner. GnRH stimulates the anterior pituitary gland. The frequency and amplitude of GnRH pulses influence the release of FSH and LH. Follicle-stimulating hormone (FSH). FSH acts on the ovarian follicles, stimulating their growth and development. As the follicles grow, they produce increasing amounts of estrogen. Estrogen, produced primarily by the growing ovarian follicles. Estrogen has multiple effects. It promotes the proliferation of the uterine lining proliferative phase. It exerts negative feedback on the anterior pituitary and hypothalamus, suppressing further FSH release. Estrogen, produced primarily by the growing ovarian follicles. Estrogen has multiple effects. It promotes the proliferation of the uterine lining proliferative phase. It exerts follicle-stimulating hormone (FSH). FSH acts on the ovarian follicles, stimulating their growth. Gonadotropin-releasing hormone (GnRH) released by the hypothalamus in a pulsatile manner. GnRH stimulates the anterior pituitary gland. The frequency and amplitude of GnRH pulses influence the release of FSH and LH. Follicle-stimulating hormone (FSH). FSH acts on the ovarian follicles, stimulating their growth and development. As the follicles grow, they produce increasing amounts of estrogen. Estrogen, produced primarily by the growing ovarian follicles. Estrogen has multiple effects. It promotes the proliferation of the uterine lining proliferative phase. It exerts negative feedback on the anterior pituitary and hypothalamus, suppressing further FSH release. However, as gonadotropin-releasing hormone (GnRH) released by the hypothalamus in a pulsatile manner, GnRH stimulates the anterior pituitary gland. The frequency and amplitude of GnRH pulses influence the release of FSH and LH. Follicle-stimulating hormone (FSH). FSH acts on the ovarian follicles, stimulating their growth and development. As the follicles grow, they produce increasing amounts of estrogen. Estrogen, produced primarily by the growing ovarian follicles. Estrogen has multiple effects. It promotes the proliferation of the uterine lining proliferative phase. It exerts negative feedback on the anterior pituitary and hypothalamus, suppressing further FSH release. However, as estrogen levels increase, they switch to positive feedback on the hypothalamus, leading to the LH surge. Luteinizing hormone (LH) surge. The LH surge occurs around the middle of the menstrual cycle, usually on the 14th day of a 28-day cycle. This surge is driven by high estrogen levels and is essential for triggering ovulation. 2. Ovulation. Luteinizing hormone LH surge. The surge in LH causes the mature ovarian follicle to rupture, releasing the egg from the ovary. This marks the process of ovulation. 3. Luteal phase. Corpus luteum formation. After ovulation, the ruptured follicle transforms into the corpus luteum, a temporary endocrine structure that secretes hormones. Progesterone. The corpus luteum secretes progesterone, which prepares the uterine lining for potential embryo implantation. It also helps maintain pregnancy by preventing further ovulation and promoting uterine relaxation. Estrogen. Estrogen levels continue to be elevated during the luteal phase, supporting the maintenance of the uterine lining and embryo development if fertilization occurs. 4. Menstruation. Decline in hormones. If fertilization and implantation do not occur, the corpus luteum regresses, leading to a decrease in both estrogen and progesterone levels. Uterine shedding. The decline in hormone levels causes the uterine lining to become unstable and eventually shed, resulting in menstrual bleeding. 5. Hormonal feedback mechanisms. Negative feedback. Rising estrogen levels exert negative feedback on the hypothalamus and pituitary gland. This prevents the continuous release of FSH and LH and helps regulate the growth and maturation of ovarian follicles. Positive feedback. As estrogen levels rise during the late follicular phase, they trigger positive feedback on the hypothalamus, leading to a surge in LH. This surge triggers ovulation. 6. Role of hormones in pregnancy. Human chorionic gonadotropin (HCG). If fertilization occurs, the developing embryo secretes HCG. This hormone acts similarly to LH and helps maintain the corpus luteum, ensuring a continued supply of progesterone to support the early pregnancy until the placenta takes over hormone production. Conclusion. The female monthly rhythm is an intricate dance of hormones orchestrated by the hypothalamus, anterior pituitary gland, and ovaries. The dynamic interplay of GnRH, FSH, LH, estrogen, and progesterone ensures the proper development of ovarian follicles, ovulation, preparation of the uterine lining, and potential support of pregnancy. The intricate regulatory mechanisms underscore the complexity of the female reproductive system and its ability to facilitate fertility and reproduction. Hormonal factors in pregnancy in detail. Very long answer. ChatGPT. Certainly, let's explore the hormonal factors in pregnancy in detail. 1. Human chorionic gonadotropin (HCG). Produced by the developing placenta after implantation. After implantation. Acts similar to LH, maintaining the... Certainly, let's explore the hormonal factors in pregnancy in detail. 1. Human chorionic gonadotropin (HCG). Produced by the developing placenta after implantation. Acts similar to LH, maintaining the corpus luteum and supporting progesterone production during early pregnancy. Helps prevent menstruation and maintain the uterine lining for embryo implantation. 2. Progesterone. Produced by the corpus luteum initially and later by the placenta. Maintains the uterine lining for embryo implantation. Prevents uterine contractions, reducing the risk of miscarriage. Inhibits immune responses that could reject the fetus. Suppresses the maternal immune system to prevent it from attacking the fetus. 3. Estrogen. Produced by the placenta during pregnancy. Stimulates growth of the uterine lining. And maintains the uterine lining for embryo implant. 2. Progesterone. Produced by the corpus luteum initially and later by the placenta. Maintains the uterine lining for embryo implantation. Prevents uterine contractions, reducing the risk of miscarriage. Inhibits immune responses that could reject the fetus. Suppresses the maternal immune system to prevent it from attacking the fetus. 3. Estrogen. Produced by the placenta during pregnancy. Stimulates growth of the uterine lining. Enhances blood flow to the uterus and placenta. Promotes the growth of mammary glands in preparation for breastfeeding. 4. Relaxin. Produced by the corpus luteum and placenta. Relaxes the uterine muscles to prevent contractions that could lead to preterm labor. Softens and widens the cervix in preparation for childbirth. Relaxes ligaments in the pelvis to facilitate the baby's passage through the birth canal. 5. Prolactin. Produced by the anterior pituitary gland. Increases during pregnancy to prepare the breast tissue for milk production. Suppresses ovulation and menstruation during pregnancy. 6. Oxytocin. Produced by the hypothalamus and released by the posterior pituitary gland. Stimulates uterine contractions during labor and delivery. Triggers the milk ejection reflex let down during breastfeeding. Enhances bonding and attachment between the mother and baby. 7. Corticotropin releasing hormone (CRH). Produced by the placenta. Helps regulate fetal development and stress response. Plays a role in the timing of labor and delivery. 8. Thyroid hormones. Thyroid function changes during pregnancy to support the developing fetus. Maternal thyroid hormones are critical for fetal brain development. 9. Insulin and glucose metabolism. Maternal insulin sensitivity changes during pregnancy. Increased insulin resistance ensures a steady supply of glucose to the fetus. Gestational diabetes can occur when insulin resistance becomes excessive. 10. Leptin. Produced by adipose tissue. Regulates appetite and energy balance. Influences placental growth and development. 11. Human placental lactogen (HPL). Produced by the placenta. Prepares the breast for milk production. Stimulates maternal insulin resistance to ensure fetal nutrient availability. 12. Adrenocorticotropic hormone (ACTH). Produced by the anterior pituitary gland. Increases during pregnancy and stimulates cortisol production by the adrenal glands. 13. Parathyroid hormone (PTH) and vitamin D. Calcium metabolism changes during pregnancy to support fetal bone development. 14. Melatonin. Produced by the pineal gland. Affects circadian rhythms and sleep patterns, which can be disrupted during pregnancy. 15. Growth hormone (GH). Increases during pregnancy and contributes to maternal metabolic adaptations. Conclusion. Hormonal changes during pregnancy are orchestrated to ensure the proper growth, development, and well-being of both the mother and the developing fetus. These hormones work in harmony to maintain pregnancy, prepare the mother's body for childbirth, and support the transition to breastfeeding and caring for the newborn. The complex interplay of these hormonal factors is essential for a successful pregnancy and the health of both the mother and the baby. Hormonal factors in parturition in detail. Very long answer. ChatGPT. Certainly, let's delve into the hormonal factors involved in parturition, the process of childbirth, in detail. 1. Progesterone withdrawal. Throughout pregnancy, high levels of progesterone maintain uterine quiescence by inhibiting contractions. As labor approaches, the placenta produces less progesterone, allowing uterine contractions to occur. 2. Increased oxytocin production. As pregnancy progresses, the hypothalamus and posterior pituitary gland increase oxytocin production. Oxytocin Certainly, let's explore the hormonal factors in pregnancy in detail. 1. Human chorionic gonadotropin (HCG). Produced by the developing placenta after implantation. Acts similar to LH, maintaining the corpus luteum and supporting progesterone production during early pregnancy. Helps prevent menstruation and maintain the uterine lining for embryo implantation. 2. Progesterone. Produced by the corpus luteum initially and later by the placenta. Maintains the uterine lining for embryo implantation. Prevents uterine contractions, reducing the risk of miscarriage. Inhibits immune responses that could reject the fetus. Suppresses the maternal immune system to prevent it from attacking the fetus. 3. Estrogen. Produced by the placenta during pregnancy. Stimulates growth. 1. Human chorionic gonadotropin (HCG). Produced by the developing placenta after implantation. Acts similar to LH, maintaining the corpus luteum and supporting progesterone production during early pregnancy. Helps prevent menstruation and maintain the uterine lining for embryo implantation. 2. Progesterone. Produced by the corpus luteum initially and later by the placenta. Maintains the uterine lining for embryo implantation. Prevents uterine contractions, reducing the risk of miscarriage. Inhibits immune responses that could reject the fetus. Suppresses the maternal immune system to prevent it from attacking the fetus. 3. Estrogen. Produced by the placenta during pregnancy. Stimulates growth of the uterine lining. Enhances blood flow to the uterus and placenta. Promotes the growth of mammary glands in preparation for breastfeeding. 4. Relaxin. Produced by the corpus luteum and placenta. Relaxes the uterine muscles to prevent contractions that could lead to preterm labor. Softens and widens the cervix in preparation for childbirth. Relaxes ligaments in the pelvis to facilitate the baby's passage through the birth canal. 5. Prolactin. Produced by the anterior pituitary gland. Increases during pregnancy to prepare the breast tissue for milk production. Suppresses ovulation and menstruation during pregnancy. 6. Oxytocin. Produced by the hypothalamus and released by the posterior pituitary gland. Stimulates uterine contractions during labor and delivery. Triggers the milk ejection reflex let down during breastfeeding. Enhances bonding and attachment between the mother and baby. 7. Corticotropin releasing hormone (C). Enhances bonding and attachment between the mother and baby. 7. Corticotropin releasing hormone (CRH). Produced by the placenta. Helps regulate fetal development and stress response. 7. Corticotropin-releasing hormone, CRH. Produced by the placenta. Helps regulate fetal development and stress response. Plays a role in the timing of labor and delivery. 8. Thyroid hormones. Thyroid function changes during pregnancy to support the developing fetus. Maternal thyroid hormones are critical for fetal brain development. 9. Insulin and glucose metabolism. Maternal insulin sensitivity changes during pregnancy. Increased insulin resistance ensures a steady supply of glucose to the fetus. Gestational diabetes can occur when insulin resistance becomes excessive. 10. Leptin. Produced by adipose tissue. Regulates appetite and energy balance. Influences placental growth and development. 11. Human placental lactogen, HPL. Produced by the placenta. Prepares the breast for milk production. Stimulates maternal insulin resistance to ensure fetal nutrient availability. 12. Adrenocorticotropic hormone, ACTH. Produced by the anterior pituitary gland. Increases during pregnancy and stimulates cortisol production by the adrenal glands. 13. Parathyroid hormone, PTH, and vitamin D. Calcium metabolism changes during pregnancy to support fetal bone development. 14. Melatonin. Produced by the pineal gland. Affects circadian rhythms and sleep patterns, which can be disrupted during pregnancy. 15. Growth hormone, GH. Increases during pregnancy and contributes to maternal metabolic adaptations. Conclusion. Hormonal changes during pregnancy are orchestrated to ensure the proper growth, development, and well-being of both the mother and the developing fetus. These hormones work in harmony to maintain pregnancy, prepare the mother's body for childbirth, and support the transition to breastfeeding and caring for the newborn. The complex interplay of these hormonal factors is essential for a successful pregnancy and the health of both the mother and the baby. Hormonal factors in parturition in detail. Very long answer. ChatGPT. Certainly, let's delve into the hormonal factors involved in parturition, the process of childbirth, in detail. 1. Progesterone withdrawal. Throughout pregnancy, high levels of progesterone maintain uterine quiescence by inhibiting contractions. As labor approaches, the placenta produces less progesterone, allowing uterine contractions to occur. 2. Increased oxytocin production. As pregnancy progresses, the hypothalamus and posterior pituitary gland increase oxytocin production. Oxytocin stimulates uterine contractions, leading to labor initiation and progression. 3. Uterine stretch and mechanical factors. As the fetus grows, it exerts pressure on the uterine walls. Stretching of the uterine muscle fibers stimulates local production of prostaglandins, which enhance contractions. 4. Prostaglandins. Produced in the uterus and placenta, prostaglandins play a crucial role in softening the cervix and promoting contractions. They increase the sensitivity of uterine muscle cells to oxytocin. 5. Corticotropin-releasing hormone, CRH. The placenta produces CRH, which triggers a cascade of events leading to labor. CRH increases cortisol levels, which, in turn, enhance the production of prostaglandins and decrease progesterone levels. 6. Relaxin. Secreted by the corpus luteum and placenta, relaxin helps relax the cervix and inhibits uterine contractions until the appropriate time for labor. 7. Stretch-activated ion channels. Mechanical stretching of the uterus activates ion channels that enhance the generation of action potentials in uterine contractions. 8. Positive feedback loop. Contractions of the uterine muscle lead to increased stretching, further stimulating oxytocin release. Oxytocin enhances contractions, leading to more stretching and increasing the frequency and strength of contractions. 9. Cervical changes. The cervix undergoes changes, including softening, ripening, and dilation, preparing for the passage of the baby. 10. Fetal hormonal factors. The fetal hypothalamus and adrenal glands produce cortisol. Increased fetal cortisol levels are associated with the initiation of labor. 11. Cortisol and progesterone balance. Cortisol promotes the conversion of progesterone into estrogen by the placenta. This shift in hormonal balance contributes to labor onset. 12. Fetal membranes and inflammation. Stretching and pressure on the fetal membranes can lead to the release of inflammatory mediators. These mediators contribute to cervical ripening and uterine contractions. 13. Feedback regulation. The interaction of hormonal factors creates a positive feedback loop that drives labor to its completion. 14. Psychological factors. Psychological stress, emotions, and relaxation play a role in hormone regulation and the onset of labor. Conclusion. Hormonal factors interact in a complex manner to initiate and regulate the process of labor. The coordination of progesterone withdrawal, oxytocin release, prostaglandin production, cervical changes, and fetal hormonal factors creates a tightly regulated sequence of events that culminate in childbirth. These hormonal interactions work in concert with mechanical, neurological, and psychological factors to ensure the successful delivery of the baby and the well-being of both the mother and the newborn. Hormonal factors in lactation in detail. Very long answer. ChatGPT. Certainly, here's a detailed explanation of the hormonal factors involved in lactation. 1. Prolactin. Prolactin, released by the anterior pituitary gland, is the primary hormone responsible for initiating and maintaining milk production. Suckling stimulates the release of prolactin through the inhibition of dopamine, which normally inhibits prolactin secretion. Prolactin promotes the differentiation and proliferation of mammary gland alveolar cells, leading to the production of milk. 2. Oxytocin. Oxytocin, released by the posterior pituitary gland, plays a crucial role in milk ejection letdown during breastfeeding. Prolactin, released by the anterior pituitary gland, is the primary hormone responsible for initiating and maintaining milk production. Suckling stimulates the release of prolactin through the inhibition of dopamine, which normally inhibits prolactin secretion. Prolactin promotes the differentiation and proliferation of mammary gland alveolar cells, leading to the production of milk. 2. Oxytocin. Oxytocin, released by the posterior pituitary gland, plays a crucial role in milk ejection letdown during breastfeeding. Suckling stimulates nerve endings in the nipple, sending signals to the hypothalamus to release oxytocin. Oxytocin causes the contraction of myoepithelial cells around the alveoli, squeezing milk into the ducts for the baby to consume. 3. Estrogen. During pregnancy, estrogen levels increase, leading to the growth and development of the mammary glands in preparation for lactation. Estrogen also contributes to the enlargement of the ductal system within the breasts. 4. Progesterone. Progesterone levels rise during pregnancy to maintain the uterine environment. While progesterone can inhibit milk secretion during pregnancy, its levels drop after childbirth, allowing prolactin to exert its lactogenic effects. 5. Human placental lactogen, HPL. Produced by the placenta during pregnancy, HPL has lactogenic properties and supports the development of the mammary glands. 6. Thyroid hormones. Thyroid hormones are important for the normal growth and development of mammary tissue, which is essential for milk production. 7. Cortisol. Cortisol, produced by the adrenal glands, has a role in preparing the mammary glands for lactation and enhancing the effects of other lactogenic hormones. 8. Insulin. Cortisol, produced by the adrenal glands, has a role in preparing the mammary glands for lactation and enhancing the effects of other lactogenic hormones. 8. Insulin. Insulin and insulin-like growth factors, IGFs, promote the growth and development of mammary gland tissue, ensuring milk production. 9. Feedback mechanism. The maintenance of lactation involves a feedback mechanism. Suckling triggers nerve impulses that stimulate the hypothalamus to release prolactin-releasing factors and inhibit prolactin-inhibiting factors. 10. Colostrum and transition to mature milk. Colostrum, the initial milk produced after childbirth, is rich in antibodies and nutrients. Prolactin levels gradually increase, transitioning the mother from colostrum to mature milk production over the first few days. 11. Frequency of breastfeeding. Frequent and effective breastfeeding is essential for maintaining milk production and supply. The more the baby nurses, the more prolactin is released, stimulating ongoing milk synthesis. 12. Weaning and decrease in prolactin. Frequent and effective breastfeeding is essential for maintaining milk production and supply. The more the baby nurses, the more prolactin is released, stimulating ongoing milk synthesis. 12. Weaning and decrease in prolactin. As breastfeeding frequency decreases during weaning, prolactin levels decrease, leading to decreased milk production. Conclusion. Lactation is a highly regulated process that involves a complex interplay of hormones. Prolactin and oxytocin are key players in milk production and ejection, respectively. Hormones like estrogen, progesterone, HPL, thyroid hormones, cortisol, and insulin contribute to the growth and development of mammary gland tissue and the overall process of lactation. A delicate balance of hormonal signals, along with proper breastfeeding practices, ensures the successful initiation and maintenance of lactation, providing essential nutrition and immune support for the newborn. Neurohormones in detail. Very long answer. ChatGPT. Neurohormones are specialized signaling molecules produced by neurons that function as both neurotransmitters and hormones. They are synthesized in specific neuroendocrine cells within the central nervous system (CNS) and released into the bloodstream to affect distant target cells. Here's a detailed explanation of neurohormones. 1. Types of neurohormones. Neuropeptides. These are short chains of amino acids that act as signaling molecules. Examples include oxytocin, vasopressin, and somatostatin. Catecholamines. These are compounds derived from the amino acid tyrosine. Examples include epinephrine, adrenaline, noradrenaline, and dopamine. 2. Neurohormone synthesis. Neurohormones are synthesized within specialized neurons within the CNS, often located in the hypothalamus or other brain regions. The precursor molecules for neurohormones are synthesized in the cell body of the neuron and transported along axons to nerve terminals. 3. Release of neurohormones. Neurohormones are specialized signaling molecules produced by neurons that function as both neurotransmitters and hormones. They are synthesized in specific neuroendocrine cells within the central nervous system (CNS) and released into the bloodstream to affect distant target cells. Here's a detailed explanation of neurohormones. 1. Types of neurohormones. Neuropeptides. These are short chains of amino acids that act as signaling molecules. Examples include oxytocin, vasopressin, and somatostatin. Catecholamines. These are compounds derived from the amino acid tyrosine. Neuropeptides. These are short chains of amino acids that act as signaling molecules. Examples include oxytocin, vasopressin. Neurohormones are specialized signaling molecules produced by neurons that function as both neurotransmitters and hormones. They are synthesized in specific neuroendocrine cells within the central nervous system (CNS) and released into the bloodstream to affect distant target cells. Here's a detailed explanation of neurohormones. 1. Types of neurohormones. Neuropeptides. These are short chains of amino acids that act as signaling molecules. Examples include oxytocin, vasopressin, and somatostatin. Catecholamines. These are compounds derived from the amino acid tyrosine. Examples include epinephrine, adrenaline, noradrenaline, and dopamine. 2. Neurohormone synthesis. Neuropeptides. These are short chains of amino acids that act as signaling molecules. Examples include oxytocin, vasopressin, and somatostatin. Catecholamines. These are compounds derived from the amino acid tyrosine. Signaling molecules produced by neurons that function as both neurotransmitters and hormones. They are synthesized in specific neuroendocrine cells within the central nervous system (CNS) and released into the bloodstream to affect distant target cells. Here's a detailed explanation of neurohormones. 1. Types of neurohormones. Neuropeptides. These are short chains of amino acids that act as signaling molecules. Examples include oxytocin, vasopressin, and somatostatin. Catecholamines. These are compounds derived from the amino acid tyrosine. Examples include epinephrine, adrenaline, noradrenaline, and dopamine. 2. Neurohormone synthesis. Neurohormones are synthesized within specialized neurons within the CNS, often located in the hypothalamus or other brain regions. The precursor molecules for neurohormones are synthesized in the cell body of the neuron and transported along axons to nerve terminals. 3. Release of neurohormones. Neurohormones are released in response to specific stimuli, such as electrical impulses or hormonal signals from other neurons. Release occurs when action potentials trigger the opening of voltage-gated calcium channels, allowing calcium ions to enter the neuron. Neurohormones are released in response to specific stimuli, such as electrical impulses or hormonal signals from other neurons. Release occurs when action potentials trigger the opening of voltage-gated calcium channels, allowing calcium ions to enter the neuron. Calcium ions trigger the fusion of vesicles containing neurohormones with the cell membrane, leading to exocytosis and release into the bloodstream. 4. Target cells and effects. Neurohormones travel through the bloodstream to reach distant target cells in various tissues. They bind to specific receptors on target cells, initiating intracellular signaling pathways that lead to specific physiological responses. 5. Role of hypothalamus. The hypothalamus is a critical brain region responsible for regulating many neurohormonal functions. It produces hormones like oxytocin and vasopressin, which are released from the posterior pituitary gland. 6. Oxytocin. Produced in the hypothalamus, oxytocin is involved in uterine contractions during childbirth and milk ejection during breastfeeding. It promotes social bonding, trust, and maternal behaviors. 7. Vasopressin, antidiuretic hormone, ADH. Neurohormones in detail. Very long answer. ChatGPT. Neurohormones are specialized signaling molecules produced by neurons that function as both neurotransmitters and hormones. They are synthesized in specific neuroendocrine cells within the central nervous system (CNS) and released into the bloodstream to affect distant target cells. Here's a detailed explanation of neurohormones. 1. Types of neurohormones. Neuropeptides. These are short chains of amino acids that act as signaling molecules. Examples include oxytocin, vasopressin, and somatostatin. Catecholamines. These are compounds derived from the amino acid tyrosine. Examples include epinephrine, adrenaline, noradrenaline, and dopamine. 2. Neurohormone synthesis. Neurohormones are synthesized within specialized neurons within the CNS, often located in the hypothalamus or other brain regions. The precursor molecules for neurohormones are synthesized in the cell body of the neuron and transported along axons to nerve terminals. 3. Release of neurohormones. Neurohormones are released in response to specific stimuli, such as electrical impulses or hormonal signals from other neurons. Release occurs when action potentials trigger the opening of voltage-gated calcium channels, allowing calcium ions to enter the neuron. Calcium ions trigger the fusion of vesicles containing neurohormones with the cell membrane, leading to exocytosis and release into the bloodstream. 4. Target cells and effects. Neurohormones travel through the bloodstream to reach distant target cells in various tissues. Hormones. Neurohormones are released in response to specific stimuli, such as electrical impulses or hormonal signals from other neurons. Release occurs when action potentials trigger the opening of voltage-gated calcium channels, allowing calcium ions to enter the neuron. Calcium ions trigger the fusion of vesicles containing neurohormones with the cell membrane, leading to exocytosis and release into the bloodstream. 4. Target cells and effects. Neurohormones travel through the bloodstream to reach distant target cells in various tissues. They bind to specific receptors on target cells, initiating intracellular signaling pathways that lead to specific physiological responses. 5. Role of hypothalamus. The hypothalamus is a critical brain region responsible for regulating many neurohormonal functions. It produces hormones like oxytocin and vasopressin, which are released from the posterior pituitary gland. 6. Oxytocin. Produced in the hypothalamus, oxytocin is involved in uterine contractions during childbirth and milk ejection during breastfeeding. It promotes social bonding, trust, and maternal behaviors. 7. Vasopressin, antidiuretic hormone, ADH. Also produced in the hypothalamus, vasopressin regulates water balance by controlling the permeability of renal tubules to water. It helps prevent excessive water loss and contributes to maintaining blood pressure. 8. Catecholamines. Catecholamines, including epinephrine and norepinephrine, are produced in the adrenal gland's medulla. They are involved in the fight or flight response, increasing heart rate, dilating airways, and redirecting blood flow to essential organs. 9. Regulation of neurohormone release. Neurohormones are tightly regulated by feedback mechanisms to maintain homeostasis. Negative feedback loops involve target tissues releasing hormones that inhibit the further release of neurohormones. 10. Clinical implications. Dysregulation of neurohormones can lead to various health conditions. For example, dysfunction in the production of vasopressin can result in diabetes insipidus, leading to excessive urination and dehydration. 11. Neurohormones and behavior. Neurohormones play a significant role in regulating social behaviors, emotional responses, and mood. Oxytocin, for instance, is associated with trust and bonding. Conclusion. Neurohormones are vital messengers that bridge the gap between the nervous system and the endocrine system. Produced in the CNS, they travel through the bloodstream to distant target cells, exerting specific effects on various physiological processes. Oxytocin and vasopressin from the hypothalamus, along with catecholamines from the adrenal medulla, are examples of neurohormones that have essential roles in regulating functions such as childbirth. Oxytocin and vasopressin from the hypothalamus, along with catecholamines from the adrenal medulla, are examples of neurohormones that have essential roles in regulating functions such as childbirth, water balance, and the stress response. Understanding the intricate mechanisms of neurohormonal signaling contributes to insights into both normal physiological processes and pathological conditions. Gases as neural messengers in detail. Very long answer. ChatGPT. Gases as neural messengers. Gases, such as nitric oxide (NO) and carbon monoxide (CO), serve as unconventional neurotransmitters or neural messengers in the nervous system. Unlike traditional neurotransmitters that are stored in vesicles and released from nerve terminals, gases are synthesized on demand and diffuse freely across cell membranes. Here's a detailed exploration of how gases function as neural messengers. 1. Nitric oxide (NO). Synthesis. NO is synthesized by the enzyme nitric oxide synthase (NOS) from the amino acid arginine. Release. NO is produced in response to elevated intracellular calcium levels, often triggered by neuronal activation. Diffusion. Unlike traditional neurotransmitters, no freely diffuses across cell membranes, allowing it to reach neighboring cells. 2. Functions of nitric oxide. Unlike traditional neurotransmitters that are stored in gases as neural messengers. Gases, such as nitric oxide, NO, and carbon monoxide, CO, serve as unconventional neurotransmitters or neural messengers in the nervous system. Unlike traditional neurotransmitters that are stored in vesicles and released from nerve terminals, gases are synthesized on demand and diffuse freely across cell membranes. Here's a detailed exploration of how gases function as neural messengers. 1. Nitric oxide, NO. Synthesis. NO is synthesized by the enzyme nitric oxide synthase, NOS, from the amino acid arginine. Release. NO is produced in response to elevated intracellular calcium levels, often triggered by neuronal activation. Diffusion. Unlike traditional neurotransmitters, no free synthesis. NO is synthesized by the enzyme nitric oxide synthase, NOS, from the amino acid arginine. Release. NO is produced in response to elevated intracellular calcium levels, often triggered by neuronal activation. Diffusion. Unlike traditional neurotransmitters, NO freely diffuses across cell membranes, allowing it to reach neighboring cells. 2. Functions of nitric oxide. Vasodilation. NO is a potent vasodilator, relaxing smooth muscles in blood vessels, which leads to increased blood flow. Neurotransmission. NO acts as a retrograde neurotransmitter. Vasodilation. NO is a potent vasodilator, relaxing smooth muscles in blood vessels, which leads to increased blood flow. Neurotransmission. NO acts as a retrograde neurotransmitter, influencing presynaptic terminals to modify neurotransmitter release. Synaptic plasticity. NO is involved in long-term potentiation, LTP. Plasticity. NO is involved in long-term potentiation, LTP, and long-term depression, LTD, crucial for learning and memory. Immune response. NO also plays a role in immune responses, contributing. Vasodilation. NO is a potent vasodilator, relaxing smooth muscles in blood vessels, which leads to increased blood flow. Neurotransmission. NO acts as a retrograde neurotransmitter, influencing presynaptic terminals to modify neurotransmitter release. Synaptic plasticity. NO is involved in long-term potentiation, LTP, and long-term depression, LTD, crucial for learning and memory. Immune response. NO also plays a role in immune responses, contributing to the destruction of pathogens. 3. Carbon monoxide, CO. Synthesis. CO is produced as a byproduct of heme metabolism by the enzyme heme oxygenase. Release. CO is produced under various physiological conditions and can act as a signaling molecule. Diffusion. Similar to NO, freely diffuses across cell membranes. 4. Functions of carbon monoxide. Vasodilation. CO, like NO, has vasodilatory effects, contributing to blood vessel relaxation and increased blood flow. Neuroprotection. CO has been shown to have neuroprotective effects against oxidative stress and inflammation. Modulation of ion channels. CO can modulate ion channels, affecting neuronal excitability. 5. Signaling pathways. NO and CO function by activating specific signaling pathways. 4. Functions of carbon monoxide. Vasodilation. CO, like NO, has vasodilatory effects, contributing to blood vessel relaxation and increased blood flow. Neuroprotection. CO has been shown to have neuroprotective effects against oxidative stress and inflammation. Modulation of ion channels. CO can modulate ion channels, affecting neuronal excitability. 5. Signaling pathways. NO and CO function by activating specific signaling pathways in target cells. They often activate guanylate cyclase, leading to the production of cyclic guanosine monophosphate, CGMP, which triggers various intracellular responses. 6. Clinical relevance. Dysregulation of gas neurotransmitters is associated with various neurological disorders. Inadequate NO production is linked to neurodegenerative diseases, cardiovascular disorders, and impaired learning and memory. Excessive NO production can contribute to neuroinflammation and oxidative stress. 7. Nitric oxide and blood flow regulation. In the cardiovascular system, NO plays a crucial role in regulating blood vessel tone and blood pressure. Impaired NO production is implicated in conditions such as hypertension and atherosclerosis. 8. Therapeutic potential. Understanding the role of gases as neural messengers has led to the development of novel therapies. Pharmacological manipulation of NO levels may offer therapeutic benefits in conditions like pulmonary hypertension. Conclusion. Gases, particularly nitric oxide and carbon monoxide, represent a unique class of neural messengers. Their unconventional mode of action, rapid synthesis, and broad influence on various physiological processes make them important players in the nervous system. NO and CO function as vasodilators, neurotransmitters, and modulators of synaptic plasticity, contributing to diverse functions ranging from blood flow regulation to learning and memory. The study of gas neurotransmitters offers valuable insights into both normal neuronal communication and potential therapeutic strategies for various disorders. Endorphins in detail, very long answer. ChatGPT. Endorphins, the body's natural painkillers. Endorphins are a class of naturally occurring neuropeptides that act as neurotransmitters in the brain and nervous system. They play a crucial role in pain relief, mood regulation, and overall well-being. Here's an in-depth look at endorphins, their functions, mechanisms of action, and significance. 1. Synthesis and release. Endorphins are produced and released by the body in response to various stimuli, including pain, stress, exercise, laughter, and certain foods. They are primarily synthesized in the hypothalamus and pituitary gland. 2. Types of endorphins. The term endorphins encompasses several different endogenous opioid peptides, including beta endorphins, enkephalins, and dynorphins. 3. Mechanism of action. The term endorphins encompasses several different endogenous opioid peptides, including beta endorphins, enkephalins, and dynorphins. 3. Mechanism of action. Endorphins bind to specific receptors called opioid receptors, which are present on nerve cells throughout the brain and body. Activation. Endorphins bind to specific receptors called opioid receptors, which are present on nerve cells throughout the term endorphins encompasses several different endogenous opioid peptides, including beta endorphins, enkephalins, and dynorphins. 3. Mechanism of action. Endorphins bind to specific receptors called opioid receptors, which are present on nerve cells throughout the brain and body. Activation of these receptors leads to reduced pain perception and a sense of euphoria or well-being. 4. Pain relief. Endorphins are well known for their analgesic pain-relieving effects. When released in response to pain, they inhibit the transmission of pain signals in the spinal cord and brain. Their pain-relieving properties are similar to those of opiate drugs like morphine, but endorphins are produced naturally by the body. 5. Mood regulation. Endorphins play a role in regulating mood and emotions. Endorphins are a class of naturally occurring neuropeptides that act as neurotransmitters in the brain and nervous system. They play a crucial role in pain relief, mood regulation, and overall well-being. Here's an in-depth look at endorphins, their functions, mechanisms of action, and significance. 1. Synthesis and release. Endorphins are produced and released by the body in response to various stimuli, including pain, stress, exercise, laughter, and certain foods. They are primarily synthesized in the hypothalamus and pituitary gland. 2. Types of endorphins. The term endorphins encompasses several different endogenous opioid peptides, including beta endorphins, enkephalins, and dynorphins. 3. Mechanism of action. Endorphins bind to specific receptors called opioid receptors, which are present on nerve cells throughout the brain and body. Activation of these receptors leads to reduced pain perception and a sense of euphoria or well-being. 4. Pain relief. Endorphins are well known for their analgesic pain-relieving effects. When released in response to pain, they inhibit the transmission of pain signals in the spinal cord and brain. Their pain-relieving properties are similar to those of opiate drugs like morphine, but endorphins are produced naturally by the body. 5. Mood regulation. Endorphins play a role in regulating mood and emotions. Their release is associated with feelings of happiness, relaxation, and stress reduction. Engaging in activities that trigger endorphin release, such as exercise or laughter, can lead to improved mood and reduced feelings of anxiety and depression. 6. Exercise and endorphins. Physical activity, especially aerobic exercise, is a well-known trigger for endorphin release. Runner's high is a phenomenon where intense exercise leads to a surge of endorphins, producing feelings of euphoria. 7. Stress reduction. Endorphins help the body cope with stress by promoting a sense of calm and relaxation. They can counteract the effects of stress hormones like cortisol. 8. Social bonding. Endorphin release can occur during social interactions and experiences that involve bonding, trust, and emotional connection. 9. Natural pain management. The body's production of endorphins serves as a natural pain management system. Some medical interventions, such as acupuncture and massage, are believed to stimulate endorphin release and provide pain relief. 10. Therapeutic potential. Understanding endorphins and their mechanisms of action has led to research on developing novel pain management strategies. Endorphin-based therapies could potentially be used to manage chronic pain and improve emotional well-being. 11. Limitations and considerations. While endorphins are associated with positive effects, excessive release or overactivation of their receptors can lead to addiction, tolerance, and other negative outcomes. Individual responses to endorphin release can vary, and the extent of the effects depends on factors such as genetics, health status, and environment. 12. Balanced lifestyle. Engaging in activities that promote endorphin release, such as exercise, social interactions, and hobbies, is important for maintaining a balanced and positive lifestyle. Conclusion. Endorphins are remarkable molecules that play a vital role in the body's pain perception, mood regulation, and stress management. Their ability to reduce pain and induce feelings of well-being makes them an essential component of the body's natural mechanisms for maintaining physical and emotional health. Understanding endorphins has implications for pain management strategies, mental health interventions, and the promotion of a balanced and fulfilling life. Endorphins' physiological roles in detail. Very long answer. ChatGPT. Endorphins. Comprehensive overview of physiological roles. Endorphins are a class of neuropeptides that play diverse physiological roles within the body, particularly in the nervous system. These endogenous opioid substances are known for their potent Endorphins are a class of neuropeptides that play diverse physiological roles within the body, particularly in the nervous system. These endogenous opioid substances are known for their potent analgesic effects, but their influence extends far beyond pain relief. Here's an in-depth exploration of the physiological roles of endorphins. 1. Pain modulation. One of the primary functions of endorphins is to modulate pain perception. When the body experiences pain, endorphins are released, binding to opioid receptors on neurons in the brain and spinal cord. This binding inhibits the transmission of pain signals, resulting in reduced pain perception. 2. Stress response and stress reduction. Endorphins are part of the body's stress response system. They help the body cope with stress by promoting a sense of relaxation and calm. In situations of acute stress, endorphins are released, counteracting the effects of stress hormones like cortisol and minimizing the impact of stress on the body. 3. Mood regulation and euphoria. Endorphins are often referred to as feel-good neurotransmitters due to their role in mood regulation. Their release leads to feelings of euphoria, happiness, and general well-being. Endorphins contribute to the pleasurable sensations experienced during activities such as laughter, social bonding, and exercise. 4. Exercise-induced euphoria. Engaging in physical exercise stimulates the release of endorphins, resulting in the phenomenon known as runner's high. During intense aerobic activities, the body experiences an increased production of endorphins, leading to feelings of elation and reduced perception of effort. 5. Immune system modulation. Research suggests that endorphins can modulate immune system responses. They may play a role in suppressing inflammation and enhancing immune function under certain conditions. 6. Social bonding and relationships. Endorphins are involved in the mechanisms underlying social bonding and positive interpersonal relationships. Activities that foster social connections, such as hugging, holding hands, and spending time with loved ones, can trigger endorphin release. Endorphins are involved in the mechanisms underlying social bonding and positive interpersonal relationships. Activities that foster social connections, such as hugging, holding hands, and spending time with loved ones, can trigger endorphin release. 7. Appetite regulation. Endorphins may play a role in appetite regulation and food intake. Some studies suggest that endorphins can influence eating behavior by affecting the brain's reward pathways. 8. Cardiovascular function. Endorphins have been linked to cardiovascular function. Their release during exercise contributes to improved circulation and heart health. 9. Endocrine regulation. Endorphins can influence the endocrine system, affecting the secretion of other hormones. For example, stress-induced endorphin release can impact the secretion of hormones like cortisol and insulin. 10. Natural pain management. The analgesic effects of endorphins make them a crucial component of the body's natural pain management system. They contribute to the body's ability to alleviate pain and promote healing after injury. 11. Psychological well-being. The interplay between endorphins and mood regulation has implications for overall psychological well-being. Adequate endorphin release is associated with reduced anxiety, depression, and emotional distress. 12. Meditation and mindfulness. Practices that promote relaxation and mindfulness, such as meditation and deep breathing, may trigger endorphin release and contribute to emotional balance. Conclusion. Endorphins, with their multifaceted roles, serve as key players in maintaining the body's equilibrium and promoting physical and emotional health. Their effects on pain, stress, mood, and social interactions underline their significance in our daily lives. Recognizing the impact of endorphins on various physiological processes highlights their potential as targets for therapeutic interventions aimed at improving overall well-being and managing conditions related to pain, stress, and mood disorders. Endorphins mechanism of action in detail. Very long answer. ChatGPT. Mechanism of action of endorphins. In-depth explanation. Endorphins are neuropeptides that exert their effects primarily through interactions with specific receptors located in the central nervous system. Their mechanism of action involves intricate signaling pathways that ultimately lead to the modulation of pain perception, mood regulation, and other physiological responses. Here's a comprehensive overview of the mechanism of action of endorphins. 1. Receptor binding. Endorphins interact with opioid receptors, which are G-protein coupled receptors (GPCRs) embedded in the cell membranes of neurons. There are three main types of opioid receptors: mu, mu, delta, delta, and kappa, kappa, each associated with distinct effects. 2. Activation of GPCR signaling. When an endorphin molecule binds to an opioid receptor, it triggers a conformational change in the receptor. This conformational change activates intracellular signaling pathways mediated by G proteins. 3. G protein activation. G proteins are composed of three subunits: alpha, alpha, beta, beta, and gamma, gamma. Upon receptor activation, the G protein's alpha subunit undergoes a conformational change, allowing it to dissociate from the beta gamma subunit. Endorphins interact with opioid receptors, which are G protein coupled receptors (GPCRs) embedded in the cell membranes of neurons. There are three main types of opioid receptors: mu, mu, delta, delta, and kappa, kappa, each associated with distinct effects. 2. Activation of GPCR signaling. When an endorphin molecule binds to an opioid receptor, it triggers a conformational change in the receptor. This conformational change activates intracellular signaling pathways mediated by G proteins. 3. G protein activation. G proteins are composed of three subunits: alpha, alpha, beta, beta, and gamma, gamma. Upon receptor activation, the G protein's alpha subunit undergoes a conformational change, allowing it to dissociate from the beta gamma subunits. 4. Effector enzyme regulation. The dissociated alpha subunit of the G protein, known as G-alpha, can modulate the activity of effector enzymes such as adenylate cyclase AC or phospholipase C PLC depending on the receptor subtype. 5. CAMP pathway, adenylate cyclase pathway. The mu opioid receptors more predominantly activate the CAMP pathway. Activation of more inhibits adenylate cyclase, leading to decreased CAMP levels in the cell. Reduced CAMP levels result in reduced activity of protein kinase A (PKA) and subsequent modulation of cellular responses. 6. Phospholipase C pathway, PLC pathway. The dissociated alpha subunit of the G protein, known as G-alpha, can modulate the activity of effector enzymes such as adenylate cyclase AC or phospholipase C PLC depending on the receptor subtype. 5. CAMP pathway, adenylate cyclase pathway. The mu opioid receptors more predominantly activate the CAMP pathway. Activation of more inhibits adenylate cyclase, leading to decreased CAMP levels in the cell. Reduced CAMP levels result in reduced activity of protein kinase A (PKA) and subsequent modulation of cellular responses. 6. Phospholipase C pathway, PLC pathway. The delta opioid receptors DOR and kappa opioid receptors core. Activation of more inhibits adenylate cyclase. The mu opioid receptors more predominantly activate the CAMP pathway. Activation of more inhibits adenylate cyclase, leading to decreased CAMP levels in the cell. Reduced CAMP levels result in reduced activity of protein kinase A (PKA) and subsequent modulation of cellular responses. 6. Phospholipase C pathway, PLC pathway. The delta opioid receptors DOR and kappa opioid receptors core activate the PLC pathway. Activation of PLC leads to the hydrolysis of phosphatidylinositol 4, 5-bisphosphate PIP2 into inositol trisphosphate IP3 and diacylglycerol DAG. 7. Inositol triphosphate IP3 pathway. IP3 triggers the release of calcium ions from intracellular stores, particularly the endoplasmic reticulum. The increase in intracellular calcium concentration leads to various downstream effects, including neuronal excitability and neurotransmitter release. 8. Diacylglycerol DAG pathway. DAG activates protein kinase C (PKC), which modulates the phosphorylation of target proteins involved in cellular responses. 9. Postsynaptic inhibition. Endorphins, when released from neurons, can bind to opioid receptors on postsynaptic neurons. This binding results in hyperpolarization of the postsynaptic neuron and a decrease in its excitability. 10. Presynaptic inhibition. Endorphins can also bind to opioid receptors on presynaptic neurons. This binding inhibits the release of neurotransmitters from presynaptic terminals, reducing the transmission of pain signals. 11. Pain modulation. The mechanism of action of endorphins involved. IP3 triggers the release of calcium ions from intracellular stores, particularly the endoplasmic reticulum. The increase in intracellular calcium concentration leads to various downstream effects, including neuronal excitability and neurotransmitter release. 8. Diacylglycerol DAG pathway. DAG activates protein kinase C (PKC), which modulates the phosphorylation of target proteins involved in cellular responses. 9. Postsynaptic inhibition. Endorphins, when released from neurons, can bind to opioid receptors on postsynaptic neurons. This binding results in hyperpolarization of the postsynaptic neuron and a decrease in its excitability. 10. Presynaptic inhibition. Endorphins can also bind to opioid receptors on presynaptic neurons. This binding inhibits the release of neurotransmitters from presynaptic terminals, reducing the transmission of pain signals. 11. Pain modulation. The inhibition of neurotransmitter release and postsynaptic neuronal activity contributes to the analgesic effects of endorphins. The reduced transmission of pain signals along pain pathways leads to pain relief. 12. Mood regulation and reward pathways. Endorphin release is associated with feelings of pleasure and euphoria. Activation of the brain's reward pathways reinforces behaviors that lead to endorphin release, such as exercise or social interactions. 13. Long-term effects. Prolonged endorphin release can lead to adaptations in the central nervous system, influencing pain tolerance and mood regulation over time. Conclusion. The mechanism of action of endorphins involves intricate interactions with opioid receptors and the subsequent activation of intracellular signaling pathways. The modulation of pain perception, mood, and other physiological responses underscores the importance of endorphins in maintaining homeostasis and well-being. Understanding this mechanism provides valuable insights into the potential therapeutic applications of endorphin-based interventions for managing pain, stress, and various neurological conditions. Endorphins pathophysiology in detail. Very long answer. ChatGPT. Endorphins pathophysiology. In-depth explanation. Endorphins play a crucial role in the body's pain modulation and mood regulation. Any disruption in the production, release, or signaling of endorphins can lead to pathophysiological conditions that impact an individual's well-being. Here's a detailed exploration of the pathophysiology of endorphins. 1. Impaired endorphin production. Conditions that affect the synthesis or release of endorphins can lead to altered pain perception and mood disorders. Genetic mutations or dysregulation of enzymes involved in endorphin synthesis can impact their availability. 2. Chronic pain disorders. Deficiencies in endorphin production or function can contribute to chronic pain conditions, where the body's natural pain relief mechanisms are compromised. Individuals with reduced endorphin levels may experience heightened sensitivity to pain stimuli. 3. Mood disorders. Endorphins are closely linked to mood regulation, and disruptions in endorphin pathways can contribute to mood disorders such as depression and anxiety. Reduced endorphin levels have been associated with the development of depressive symptoms. 4. Substance abuse and addiction. Dysfunction in endorphin pathways can contribute to substance abuse and addiction. Individuals may turn to external substances, e.g., drugs, to compensate for the impaired release or function of endorphins, seeking relief from pain or emotional distress. 5. Chronic stress and cortisol release. Chronic stress can lead to increased cortisol release, which may interfere with endorphin production and function. Elevated cortisol levels can suppress endorphin release, contributing to a decreased ability to cope with stress and pain. 6. Withdrawal symptoms. In cases of substance abuse, discontinuing drug use can lead to withdrawal symptoms due to altered endorphin pathways. The abrupt cessation of substances that mimic endorphins can result in heightened pain sensitivity, anxiety, and mood disturbances. 7. Hormonal imbalances. Hormonal imbalances, such as those affecting the hypothalamic pituitary adrenal (HPA) axis, can disrupt endorphin production and release. Dysregulated hormonal pathways can lead to altered stress responses and pain perception. 8. Chronic inflammation. Chronic inflammatory conditions can lead to alterations in endorphin pathways. Inflammation may disrupt the balance of endorphins and inflammatory mediators, affecting pain modulation. 9. Altered reward pathways. Dysfunctional endorphin signaling can impact reward pathways in the brain, contributing to addictive behaviors and decreased feelings of pleasure. 10. Neurological disorders. Conditions affecting the central nervous system, such as Parkinson's disease or multiple sclerosis, can disrupt endorphin pathways and exacerbate pain and mood disturbances. 11. Impact on overall well-being. The proper functioning of conditions affecting the central nervous system, such as Parkinson's disease or multiple sclerosis, can disrupt endorphin pathways and exacerbate pain and mood disturbances. 11. Impact on overall well-being. The proper functioning of endorphins is essential for maintaining overall well-being, pain tolerance, stress resilience, and emotional balance. Pathophysiological conditions affecting endorphins can lead to a reduced quality of life. Conclusion. The pathophysiology of endorphins encompasses a wide range of disruptions in their production, release, and signaling pathways. These disruptions can have profound effects on pain perception, mood regulation, addiction susceptibility, and overall physiological and emotional well-being. Understanding the intricate interplay between endorphin pathways and various physiological processes is crucial for developing effective interventions to mitigate the negative impact of endorphin-related pathophysiological conditions. Endorphin summary in detail. Very long answer. ChatGPT. Endorphins pathophysiology. Endorphins pathophysiology in detail. Very long answer. ChatGPT. Endorphins pathophysiology. In-depth explanation. Endorphins play a crucial role in the body's pain modulation and mood regulation. Any disruption in the production, release, or signaling of endorphins can lead to pathophysiological conditions that impact an individual's well-being. Any disruption in the production, release, or signaling of endorphins can lead to pathophysiological conditions that impact an individual's well-being. Here's a detailed exploration of the pathophysiology of endorphins. 1. Impaired endorphin production. Conditions that affect the synthesis or release of endorphins can lead to altered pain perception and mood disorders. Conditions that affect the synthesis or release of endorphins can lead to altered pain perception and mood disorders. Genetic mutations or dysregulation of enzymes involved in endorphin synthesis can impact their availability. 2. Chronic pain disorders. Deficiencies in endorphin production or function can contribute to chronic pain conditions, where the body's natural pain relief mechanisms are compromised. Individuals with reduced endorphin levels may experience heightened sensitivity to pain stimuli. 3. Mood disorders. Endorphins are closely linked to mood regulation, and disruptions in endorphin pathways can contribute to mood disorders such as depression and anxiety. Reduced endorphin levels have been associated with the development of depressive symptoms. 4. Substance abuse and addiction. Dysfunction in endorphin pathways can contribute to substance abuse and addiction. Individuals may turn to external substances, e.g., drugs to compensate for the impairment of function of endorphins, seeking relief from pain and emotional distress. 5. Chronic stress and cortisol release. Chronic stress can lead to increased cortisol release, which may interfere with endorphin production and function. Chronic stress can lead to increased cortisol release, which may interfere with endorphin production and function. Elevated cortisol levels can suppress endorphin release, contributing to a decreased ability to cope with stress and pain. 6. Withdrawal symptoms. In cases of substance abuse, discontinuing drug use can lead to withdrawal symptoms due to altered endorphin pathways. The abrupt cessation of substances that mimic endorphins can result in heightened pain sensitivity, anxiety, and mood disturbances. 7. Hormonal imbalances. Hormonal imbalances, such as those affecting the hypothalamic pituitary adrenal HPA axis, can disrupt endorphin production and release. Dysregulated hormonal pathways can lead to altered stress responses and pain perception. 8. Chronic inflammation. Chronic inflammatory conditions can lead to alterations in endorphin pathways. Inflammation may disrupt the balance of endorphins and inflammatory mediators, affecting pain modulation. 9. Altered reward pathways. Dysfunctional endorphin signaling can impact reward pathways in the brain, contributing to addictive behaviors and decreased feelings of pleasure. 10. Neurological disorders. Conditions affecting the central nervous system, such as Parkinson's disease or multiple sclerosis, can disrupt endorphin pathways and exacerbate pain and mood disturbances. 11. Impact on overall well-being. The proper functioning of endorphins is essential for maintaining overall well-being, pain tolerance, stress resilience, and emotional balance. Pathophysiological conditions affecting endorphins can lead to a reduced quality of life. Conclusion. The pathophysiology of endorphins encompasses a wide range of disruptions in their production, release, and signaling pathways. These disruptions can have profound effects on pain perception, mood regulation, addiction susceptibility, and overall physiological and emotional well-being. Understanding the intricate interplay between endorphin pathways and various physiological processes is crucial for developing effective interventions to mitigate the negative impact of endorphin-related pathophysiological conditions. Endorphin summary in detail. Very long answer. ChatGPT. Endorphins. A comprehensive summary. Endorphins are endogenous opioid peptides that play a vital role in the body's pain perception, mood regulation, and overall well-being. Here's a detailed summary of the key aspects of endorphins. 1. Structure and types of endorphins. Endorphins belong to the family of opioid peptides and include beta endorphins, alpha endorphins, and gamma endorphins. They are synthesized from larger precursor proteins called proopiomelanocortin (POMC). Endorphins belong to the family of opioid peptides and include beta endorphins, alpha endorphins, and gamma endorphins. They are synthesized from larger precursor proteins called proopiomelanocortin (POMC) in various tissues, including the hypothalamus and pituitary. They are synthesized from larger precursor proteins called proopiomelanocortin (POMC) in various tissues, including the hypothalamus. They are synthesized from larger precursor proteins called proopiomelanocortin (POMC) in various tissues, including the hypothalamus and pituitary gland. 2. Pain. 2. Pain modulation. Endorphins act as natural painkillers by binding to opioid receptors in the brain and spinal cord. This binding inhibits the transmission of pain signals, reducing the perception of pain and promoting pain relief. 3. Mood regulation. Endorphins are often referred to as feel-good molecules because they contribute to feelings of pleasure and euphoria. They play a role in regulating mood, reducing anxiety and stress, and promoting a sense of well-being. 4. Release of endorphins. Endorphins are released in response to various stimuli, including physical exercise, laughter, certain foods, and positive social interactions. Activities like aerobic exercise trigger the release of endorphins, leading to the phenomenon known as a runner's high. 5. Mechanism of action. Endorphins exert their effects by binding to opioid receptors, which are categorized into mu, delta. Endorphins exert their effects by binding to opioid receptors, which are categorized into mu, delta, and kappa receptors. Activation of these receptors leads to the inhibition of neurotransmitter release, resulting in pain relief and mood elevation. 6. Natural analgesia. 6. Natural analgesia. The body's endorphin system contributes to natural analgesia, reducing the need for external pain-relieving medications. Endorphins play a role in both acute pain management and chronic pain conditions. 7. Stress response. Endorphins are involved in the body's response to stress, helping to buffer the negative effects of stress hormones like cortisol. They promote a sense of relaxation and well-being during and after stressors. 8. Exercise and endorphins. Physical exercise, particularly aerobic activities, is a well-known stimulator of endorphin release. Regular exercise can lead to improved pain tolerance, mood enhancement, and stress reduction. 9. Pathophysiological conditions. Dysregulation of endorphin pathways can contribute to mood disorders such as depression and anxiety. Chronic pain conditions, addiction, and certain neurological disorders can also result from disrupted endorphin functioning. 10. Potential interventions. Understanding the role of endorphins has led to the exploration of interventions to enhance their release. Non-pharmacological approaches such as exercise, laughter, and mindfulness techniques can promote endorphin release. 11. Holistic well-being. Endorphins are integral to maintaining holistic well-being, contributing to physical, emotional, and mental health. They provide a natural mechanism for pain management, stress reduction, and mood elevation. Conclusion. Endorphins, as natural opioids, hold significant importance in the intricate balance of pain perception, mood regulation, and overall well-being. Their role extends beyond pain modulation to impact emotions, stress responses, and social interactions. A comprehensive understanding of endorphins allows us to appreciate the body's innate mechanisms for promoting health, happiness, and resilience. Brain hormones in detail. Very long answer. ChatGPT. Brain hormones. A comprehensive overview. Brain hormones, also known as neuropeptides, are essential signaling molecules that play a crucial role in various physiological and behavioral processes in the brain. This detailed overview covers the key aspects of brain hormones. 1. Introduction to brain hormones. Brain hormones are specialized peptides synthesized in neurons located within the brain and central nervous system (CNS). They function as neurotransmitters, neuromodulators, and hormones, transmitting signals across neuronal networks. 2. Synthesis and release. Brain hormones are synthesized within the cell body of neurons, processed in the endoplasmic reticulum, and packaged into vesicles in the Golgi apparatus. Upon stimulation, these vesicles release brain hormones into synapses, where they bind to specific receptors on target neurons. 3. Diverse functions. Upon stimulation, these vesicles release brain hormones into synapses, where they bind to specific receptors on target neurons. 3. Diverse functions. Brain hormones participate in a wide range of physiological functions, including mood regulation, pain perception, appetite control, and memory formation. They also influence behaviors such as social interactions, aggression, and reproduction. 4. Role in mood and emotions. Neuropeptides like serotonin, dopamine, and oxytocin are involved in mood regulation and emotional responses. Dysregulation of these neuropeptides can contribute to mood disorders such as depression and anxiety. 5. Pain modulation. Neuropeptides like endorphins and incaphalins function as natural painkillers, reducing the perception of pain and promoting pain relief. They bind to opioid receptors in the brain and spinal cord to inhibit pain signals. 6. Neuropeptides like endorphins and incaphalins function as natural painkillers, reducing the perception of pain and promoting. Neuropeptides like endorphins and incaphalins function as natural painkillers, reducing the perception of pain and promoting pain relief. They bind to opioid receptors in the brain and spinal cord to inhibit pain signals. 6. Appetite and metabolism regulation. Neuropeptides like leptin and ghrelin regulate appetite and metabolism. Leptin suppresses appetite and increases energy expenditure, while ghrelin stimulates appetite and promotes energy intake. 7. Social behaviors and bonding. Oxytocin and vasopressin are neuropeptides involved in social bonding, attachment, and maternal behaviors. Oxytocin is also associated with emotional bonding, trust, and empathy. 8. Memory and learning. Neuropeptides like brain-derived neurotrophic factor (BDNF) play a role in synaptic plasticity, which is essential for memory and learning. 9. Pathophysiological implications. Dysregulation of brain hormones can contribute to various neurological and psychiatric disorders. Conditions such as Parkinson's disease, schizophrenia, and autism spectrum disorders involve altered neuropeptide signaling. 10. Therapeutic potential. Understanding brain hormone signaling has led to the development of targeted therapies for mood disorders, pain management, and neurodegenerative diseases. Selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors (SSRIs) and dopamine agonists are examples of such therapies. 11. Impact of lifestyle. Lifestyle factors like stress, sleep, nutrition, and physical activity can influence the synthesis and release of brain hormones. Positive lifestyle choices can promote healthy neuropeptide functioning. Conclusion. Brain hormones are pivotal players in the intricate communication within the brain and CNS. Their diverse functions extend beyond neurotransmission to influence behaviors, emotions, and cognitive processes. Understanding brain hormone signaling offers insights into both the normal functioning of the brain and the development of therapeutic interventions for various neurological and psychiatric conditions. Brain hormones and behaviors in detail. Very long answer. ChatGPT. Brain hormones and behaviors. A comprehensive exploration. Brain hormones, also known as neuropeptides, are essential signaling molecules that play a central role in modulating various behaviors and cognitive processes in the brain. This detailed overview delves into the intricate relationship between brain hormones and behaviors. 1. Introduction to brain hormones and behaviors. Brain hormones are specialized peptides synthesized and released by neurons in the brain and central nervous system (CNS). These neuropeptides serve as key regulators of behaviors, influencing mood, emotions, social interactions, learning, and more. 2. Mood regulation and emotion. Serotonin, dopamine, and norepinephrine are brain hormones that impact mood and emotions. Serotonin is linked to feelings of happiness and well-being, while dopamine is associated with pleasure and reward. Imbalances in these hormones can contribute to mood disorders like depression and bipolar disorder. Imbalances in these hormones can contribute to mood disorders like depression and bipolar disorder. 3. Stress response and anxiety. Corticotropin-releasing hormone (CRH) and neuropeptide YNPY are involved in the body's stress response. CRH triggers the release of stress hormones like cortisol, while NPY has anxiolytic effects that reduce anxiety. 4. Social interactions and bonding. 4. Social interactions and bonding. Oxytocin and vasopressin play a crucial role in social bonding, trust, and attachment. Oxytocin is often referred to as a love hormone due to its involvement in maternal bonding and romantic relationships. Vasopressin influences territorial behavior and aggression in some species. Oxytocin is often referred to as a love hormone due to its involvement in maternal bonding and romantic relationships. Vasopressin influences territorial behavior and aggression in some species. 5. Aggression and aggressive behaviors. Neuropeptides like vasopressin and corticotropin-releasing factor (CRF) can influence aggressive behaviors. Vasopressin, in particular, has been linked to territorial aggression in guardian animals. 6. Learning and memory. Brain-derived neurotrophic factor (BDNF) and insulin-like growth factor 1 (IGF-1) are neuropeptides that support synaptic plasticity and enhance learning and memory. 7. Appetite and feeding behaviors. Leptin and ghrelin are neuropeptides involved in appetite regulation. Leptin signals satiety and reduces food intake, while ghrelin stimulates hunger and increases food intake. 8. Sexual behavior and reproduction. Gonadotropin-releasing hormone (GnRH) regulates the release of sex hormones and plays a crucial role in the control of reproductive behaviors. 9. Addiction and reward pathways. Neuropeptides like endorphins and dopamine are closely linked to the brain's reward system. Endorphins contribute to the pleasurable feelings associated with activities like exercise and social interactions. Dopamine plays a central role in addiction, as it is released in response to substances of abuse and rewarding stimuli. 10. Pathophysiological implications. Dysregulation of brain hormones can contribute to various behavioral disorders and psychiatric conditions. Conditions such as anxiety disorders, schizophrenia, and substance use disorders involve altered neuropeptide signaling. 11. Neurodevelopmental disorders. Neuropeptides like oxytocin have been studied for the potential in treating social deficits in individuals with autism spectrum disorder (ASD). 12. Behavioral therapies. Understanding the role of brain hormones in behaviors has led to the development of behavioral therapies and pharmacological interventions. For example, selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors (SSRIs) are commonly prescribed for depression and anxiety. Conclusion. The intricate interplay between brain hormones and behaviors underscores the complexity of human cognition, emotions, and interactions. Neuropeptides influence a wide array of behaviors, from mood regulation and social bonding to learning, memory, and addiction. Dysregulation of these signaling pathways can contribute to a range of behavioral disorders and psychiatric conditions. As our understanding of brain hormone function deepens, it holds promise for the development of novel treatments and interventions aimed at improving mental health and well-being. Neuroendocrine pathophysiology in detail. Very long answer. ChatGPT. Neuroendocrine pathophysiology, unraveling complex interactions. Neuroendocrine pathophysiology delves into the intricate disruptions that occur within the complex network of the nervous and endocrine systems. This comprehensive examination provides a detailed understanding of the factors that contribute to neuroendocrine disorders. 1. Introduction to neuroendocrine pathophysiology delves into the intricate disruptions that occur within the complex network of the nervous and endocrine systems. This comprehensive examination provides a detailed understanding of the factors that contribute to neuroendocrine disorders. 1. Introduction to neuroendocrine pathophysiology. Neuroendocrine disorders result from dysregulation in the communication between the nervous and endocrine systems. Neuroendocrine pathophysiology delves into the intricate disruptions that occur within the complex network of the nervous and endocrine systems. This comprehensive examination provides a detailed understanding of the factors that contribute to neuroendocrine disorders. 1. Introduction to neuroendocrine pathophysiology. Neuroendocrine disorders result from dysregulation in the communication between the nervous and endocrine systems. These disorders often involve abnormal hormone secretion, receptor sensitivity, and feedback mechanisms. 2. Hormone overproduction. Hypersecretion of hormones can lead to disorders like Cushing's syndrome, caused by excess cortisol secretion from the adrenal glands. Hyperthyroidism, characterized by excessive thyroid hormone production, is often 1. Introduction to neuroendocrine pathophysiology. Neuroendocrine disorders result from dysregulation in the communication between the nervous and endocrine systems. These disorders often involve abnormal hormone secretion, receptor sensitivity, and feedback mechanisms. 2. Hormone overproduction. Hypersecretion of hormones can lead to disorders like Cushing's syndrome, caused by excess cortisol secretion from the adrenal glands. Hyperthyroidism, characterized by excessive thyroid hormone production, is often caused by conditions like Graves' disease. 3. Hormone underproduction. Hyposecretion of hormones can result in conditions like Addison's disease, where the adrenal glands do not produce sufficient cortisol and aldosterone. Hypothyroidism, often caused by Hashimoto's thyroiditis, leads to insufficient thyroid hormone production. 4. Feedback mechanism disruption. Disorders like polycystic ovary syndrome (PCOS) involve altered feedback mechanisms in the reproductive axis, leading to irregular menstrual cycles and hormonal imbalances. 5. Endocrine tumors. Tumors of endocrine glands can lead to excessive hormone production, as seen in pheochromocytomas that produce excess catecholamines. 6. Hormone receptor abnormalities. Hormone receptors can become desensitized or overactive. Tumors of endocrine glands can lead to excessive hormone production, as seen in pheochromocytomas that produce excess catecholamines. 6. Hormone receptor abnormalities. Hormone receptors can become desensitized or overactive, contributing to disorders like insulin resistance and type 2 diabetes. 7. Genetic factors. Genetic mutations can lead to neuroendocrine disorders, such as multiple endocrine neoplasia, MEN syndromes, and increase the risk of tumors in various endocrine glands. 8. Stress and hormonal dysregulation. Chronic stress can disrupt the hypothalamic pituitary adrenal HPA axis, leading to cortisol imbalances and potential implications for mental health. 9. Neurotransmitter imbalances. Imbalances in neurotransmitters like serotonin and dopamine can contribute to mood disorders, highlighting the intricate connection between the nervous system and hormone regulation. 10. Autoimmune disorders. Autoimmune conditions like autoimmune thyroiditis and type 1 diabetes involve the immune system attacking endocrine tissues, leading to hormonal dysfunction. Imbalances in neurotransmitters like serotonin and dopamine can contribute to mood disorders, highlighting the intricate connection between the nervous system and hormone regulation. 10. Autoimmune disorders. Autoimmune conditions like autoimmune thyroiditis and type 1 diabetes involve the immune system attacking endocrine tissues, leading to hormonal dysfunction. 11. Hormonal influences on behavior and cognitive function. Neuroendocrine disruptions can contribute to behavioral and cognitive changes, such as the mood disturbances seen in thyroid disorders. 12. Diagnosis and treatment. Accurate diagnosis involves assessing hormone levels, imaging, and genetic testing. Treatment approaches vary and may include hormone replacement therapy, surgical interventions, and lifestyle modifications. 13. Impact on quality of life. Neuroendocrine disorders can have far-reaching effects on overall health and well-being. Hormonal imbalances can impact fertility, energy levels, metabolism, mood, and cognitive function. 14. Research and therapeutic advancements. Ongoing research aims to uncover the molecular mechanisms underlying neuroendocrine disorders. Targeted therapies, such as somatostatin analogs for acromegaly, have emerged to effectively manage certain conditions. Conclusion. Neuroendocrine pathophysiology encompasses a wide array of complex interactions between the nervous and endocrine systems. Disruptions in hormone production, receptor sensitivity, and feedback mechanisms can lead to a range of disorders that impact physical health, mental well-being, and overall quality of life. Advances in research and therapies offer hope for improved management and treatment of neuroendocrine disorders, highlighting the importance of interdisciplinary collaboration in unraveling the intricacies of these conditions. More points. ChatGPT. 15. Hormonal influence on growth and development. Neuroendocrine dysregulation during critical developmental periods can lead to growth disorders, such as gigantism and dwarfism. Disorders like precocious puberty can result from early activation of the hypothalamic pituitary adrenal axis. 16. Gender identity and neuroendocrine factors. Emerging research suggests that neuroendocrine factors may play a role in gender identity development and dysphoria. 17. Environmental influences. Disorders like precocious puberty can result from early activation of the hypothalamic pituitary adrenal axis. 16. Gender identity and neuroendocrine factors. 15. Hormonal influence on growth and development. Neuroendocrine dysregulation during critical developmental periods can lead to growth disorders, such as gigantism and dwarfism. Disorders like precocious puberty can result from early activation of the hypothalamic pituitary adrenal axis. 16. Gender identity and neuroendocrine factors. Emerging research suggests that neuroendocrine factors may play a role in gender identity development and dysphoria. 17. Environmental influences. Environmental factors, including endocrine disrupting chemicals, can interfere with the normal function of the neuroendocrine system and contribute to the development of disorders. 18. Age-related changes. The neuroendocrine system undergoes changes with age, contributing to conditions such as menopause and andropause. 19. Sleep-wake cycle and hormones. The hypothalamus plays a crucial role in regulating the sleep-wake cycle through interactions with hormone-producing glands. 20. Stress response and neuroendocrine function. The HPA axis responds to stress by releasing cortisol, which influences various physiological processes, including immune function. 21. Neuroendocrine immune interaction. Neuroendocrine signals can influence immune responses, contributing to the complex interplay between the endocrine and immune systems. 22. Impact on reproductive health. Neuroendocrine disorders can affect fertility, menstrual cycles, and reproductive function in both males and females. 23. Endocrine disruption in modern lifestyles. Changes in lifestyle, such as increased stress levels, sedentary behavior, and poor dietary habits, can contribute to neuroendocrine dysfunction. 24. Hormone-mediated communication. Hormones play a crucial role in communicating information within the body, facilitating the coordination of various physiological processes. 25. Hormonal influence on energy regulation. Hormones like insulin and leptin regulate energy metabolism, appetite, and body weight. 26. Neuroendocrine controls circadian rhythms. The hypothalamus regulates the circadian rhythms of various hormones, impacting sleep-wake cycles and overall physiological patterns. 27. Impact on reproductive health. Neuroendocrine disorders can lead to infertility, menstrual irregularities, and complications during pregnancy. 28. Individual variability. Neuroendocrine responses can vary among individuals, contributing to differences in susceptibility to certain disorders. 29. Hormones and mood disorders. Dysregulation of neuroendocrine pathways can contribute to mood disorders, including depression and anxiety. 30.